This is Nintendo Power Uncovered, the show where I review the covers of all 285 issues of Nintendo Power. From the great to the baffling to the just plain lazy, we're in it for the long haul. We're continuing our adventure with the final 3 issues from 1990, featuring covers that celebrate Maniac Mansion, Final Fantasy, and Dr. Mario. A couple of those are incredible classics that everybody should play, but are the covers any good? That's what we're going to find out in this episode of Nintendo Power Uncovered. Now in its second year, Nintendo Power has proven that they know a thing or two about creating amazing art from some of their biggest games. But that's the problem. Thus far, all their covers have been designed to promote the biggest games for the Nintendo Entertainment System. I'm talking about Super Mario Bros. 3, Ninja Gaiden, Tetris, Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and DuckTales. These are all top-selling games that can only help sell issues. When will we ever get an issue that helps to promote a smaller, niche title? As it turns out, all we had to do was wait 16 issues. Here we see an average day in the life of Maniac Mansion, Ron Gilbert and Gary Winnick's brilliant point-and-click adventure game. Despite its goofy sense of humor and full cast of memorable characters, Maniac Mansion is not the kind of game you expect to see on a system packed with Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt. It has a decidedly slower pace and puzzles that cannot be solved by hitting your head against floating bricks. And yet, here it is, getting some much-needed attention from Nintendo Power. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I love this cover. Every inch of it perfectly embodies the spirit of Maniac Mansion. We see Bernard and Dave signaling punk rock chick Razor. Wendy Wells pokes her head out of the window after investigating the telescope. And then there's Dr. Fred Ellison making sure that nobody can get in or out. In the distance, a meteor screams towards Earth and the night is covered with a thick fog. But none of this can hold a candle to the harrowing things happening inside the house. That bright yellow glow and rampaging tentacles is a dead giveaway that something is seriously wrong in this mansion full of maniacs. This is Nintendo Power at their best. And I'm not just saying that because I love this game. The modeling captures the characters perfectly and there are little secrets hidden for the fans. If Gilbert and Winnick ever decide to make an updated version of Maniac Mansion, I kinda hope that it looks exactly like this Nintendo Power cover. Imagine, if you can, a time when Americans had no clue what a role-playing game was. The very concept of turn-based combat, random battles, and experience points were about as foreign as driving on the left side of the road and Eurovision. But Nintendo was willing to take a chance on these slow-paced adventure games. And one of the ways they did this was by releasing this strategy guide, a book specifically designed to lead you through the world of Final Fantasy. Regardless of whether the audience was clueless or not, releasing a Final Fantasy strategy guide was smart. Although slight by today's standards, Square's classic RPG was full of hidden treasures and tough bosses. This is the kind of game that demands detailed maps, item guides, and charts that expose every enemy's weakness. Forget platforming action and ninja games because Final Fantasy is the reason why strategy guides exist. Thankfully, the importance of this guide outweighs the goofiness of that cover art. Here we have 4 large men huddled together in a teeny tiny airship. We see the arrogant knight, an axe-wielding soldier, perfectly centered ninja, and a wizard who is dangerously close to getting his head chopped off by one of those blades. With no room to walk around or even lie down, this looks like the single worst way to travel throughout the solar system. And if that's what they're doing here, then why is it that none of our heroes are wearing a spacesuit? I mean, that's a floating city behind them, so clearly something funky's going on with the oxygen on this planet. Furthermore, why do we need propeller blades if we're just floating through space? What kind of ship is this? And seriously, Nintendo, can you help a fellow ship out and draw a bigger boat? I guess that's what Final Fantasy II is for. After leaning heavily on uninspired covers based on licensed properties, Nintendo has done a good job of righting the ship and getting us back on course. I'm especially happy to see Nintendo Power's arts and crafts department getting some work. We just got done talking about Maniac Mansion, and here we are again with another handcrafted cover. See, everybody, I told you, this is what happens when you go on vacation and come back inspired and ready to create. Now, while many consider this to be part of Nintendo's long tradition of influential puzzle games, Dr. Mario was not well received at the time. Both Electronic Gaming Monthly and GamePro criticized the puzzler for being too derivative, while other critics suggested that a game about pill popping sent the wrong message to kids. Undeterred, Nintendo Power did their part by putting the game front and center on the holiday 1990 issue. So, the title suggests that Mario used some of his plumbing riches to put himself through like 8 years of college to become a doctor. I'm not sure I buy into this premise. I mean, this is a guy who's constantly busy playing sports, getting kidnapped, partying, and saving abducted women. Have we ever seen him cracking a book, or has he ever mentioned going to class, even once? Those two things alone put this whole scenario in serious doubt. I mean, has anybody even seen his diploma? I mean, I have a friend who spends his days handing out drugs, but he's never once referred to himself as a doctor. The truth is, I find Mario's smile to be kinda creepy. It also concerns me that he's hanging out with a bunch of gremlins. But the most unsettling part of this cover involves the 6-inch pill he's holding. Does he want me to swallow that thing, or are we about to play catch? The pill is so big that my one-a-day vitamin has penis envy. Ugh, I'm starting to think that Dr. Mario might be one of the reasons why the United States has a healthcare problem. Hey, thanks for watching me talk about Nintendo Power. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that we post new reviews and features almost every day. Now here's the question I have for you. How would you rank these 3 covers? Did I get it about right, or was I way off? Let me know in the comments below. In other news, I'm currently hard at work on a bunch of reviews, so expect my take on Zombies in City tomorrow and Super Life of Pixel shortly. In the meantime, I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.